Protests in Turkey enter their sixth night as President Erdogan blames opposition for unrest following the detention of Istanbul's mayor. More details in the following report.
Turkey is witnessing its sixth consecutive night of protests, sparked by the recent arrest of Istanbul mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu on corruption charges, BBC News reported. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has accused opposition parties of inciting a movement of violence, dismissing the demonstrations as evil and a disturbance to public peace. The unrest began last Wednesday when İmamoğlu, a key political rival of Erdogan, was detained. He claims the allegations against him are politically motivated, a statement Erdogan denies. The main opposition party, the Republican People's Party (CHP), announced İmamoğlu as its candidate for the 2028 presidential election despite his incarceration. As protests unfolded, CHP leader Özgür Özel addressed thousands of demonstrators, labeling the gatherings an act of defiance against fascism. He plans to visit İmamoğlu in jail and is advocating for his release pending trial. Meanwhile, the Turkish government reported that over 1,133 individuals have been arrested since the protests began. The demonstrations have been largely peaceful, although clashes occurred on Sunday, resulting in police using water cannons and pepper spray. Young protesters, many disillusioned with Erdogan's long tenure, have played a significant role in the unrest, expressing frustration with both the government and the opposition. Rights groups, including the Amnesty International, have condemned the use of excessive force and called for an investigation into police actions. Reports indicate that journalists covering the protests have been detained in dawn raids, while internet restrictions have limited access to social media platforms. İmamoğlu, a prominent critic of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, faces charges related to corruption, which his supporters claim are politically motivated. The opposition Republican People's Party, CHP, has labeled the arrest a judicial coup and urged nationwide demonstrations. With the CHP signaling an end to its rallies, the future of the protests remain uncertain. Protesters continue to call for democracy and the release of their mayor, reflecting growing discontent with Erdogan's administration.